another load of wood chip ready for going out. Can't bring myself to take the rest of the lights off the tractor, but I'm going to have to because it's getting a bit mucky now, the sign. Put it away for safekeeping for next year. But the tractor needs a wash as well. Rush hour in the yard this morning. There's a big skip coming with Christmas trees and different things, so when you get stuff coming in skip, it's always a bit mucky, so Rich is just pre-sorting it with his new grab. Andrew's moving Christmas trees with the Merlot and putting them in through the chipper, and this big wagon's here for seed beans, so my dad's just loading that now with the telehandler. So it's coming out the shed sort of down the side, so I have to park the wagon in the yard and bring it up the alleyway between the two sheds. It's got a really high bulk density beans, so each bucket's probably got about 2.5 tonne in, whereas if it was wheat it'd have about 2.25 and rape something similar. So it doesn't take many bucketfuls to fill a wagon. That wagon will probably hold about 29 tonne. Depends on how heavy the tractor unit is, which is the bit on the front. But should be full in about 11 buckets probably. So he's just off for another one now. Better take these lights off the middle of the wheel before they fall off. Tape's starting to peel. Little battery pack there. Just come to look at this field now with oilseed rape on. Here's the control tower for the airport, but they're having a quiet day. We've got these rape plants here, you can see, but they've basically been chewed. That's with pigeons, so they've stripped them back to the stalks and they've been eating the green leaf off them. Doesn't really affect it this time of year, but once they start growing again in the spring, we need to keep the pigeons off it. Otherwise there'll be nothing left, and if they eat it when they're too short, then you can nearly pull them out the floor and there's no roots left. So we're going to try and get this sprayed today while it's still frozen, because it's quite soft, this field. It's a bit wet by them trees there and these trees over here. So Adam's just filling up the sprayer now. I've rung him to tell him it's still hard and that it's not thawed. He's done one already this morning at the other side of the farm that was still frozen, but yeah, we're just about to travel on this now. You can see that there is some puddles and some wet bits, so we need to perhaps get some drains in this as well, but we'll get this rape sprayed on this now. This field of wheat now, which is what you can see there, but that's the river. That's the River Mersey. The other side, that's sort of Ellesmere Port, and the river basically, I can show you, it sort of goes up right the way around us, and it sort of ends up over that way. So it's quite unusual to get a frost this close to the water. As you can see, the far end of the field, sort of there, isn't frozen because of the body of the water, but this is, and the wheat in it, it's just a little bit sort of dormancy. It's not the thickest. It was quite wet when we sown it because it was getting later on, but there's a crop here that we should be able to make something out of, hopefully. Flock of pigeons over there just got up off this field as well, eating it. Little sods. Because people put some bird feeders out in the garden, please. I've got some sunflower seeds if you want to buy some. This is this here, see these flags, if we can get the camera to come back out. This is to mark out for a crop trial. So there's a company working out different herbicides for weed control within the oilseed rape. So they've partitioned off this area into little squares, and we won't spray this now with herbicide, and they'll do little controlled lines through it and work out with different chemicals what's working best and what's not, and then that helps us all in the future and the other farmers know what to use. So we've set this field out here. We'll combine the whole lot, and they'll come with like a little mini combine and combine it. So I don't know if you saw some of the videos in the summer, but we did one last year as well, and they brought this little mini combine and chomped through it. So if you wanted to go back to the summer, you'll probably see it on some of them videos. So we've got a little reminder here to tell us not to do, what not to do. So no herbicide for 6 meters. Don't know how good the microphone is, but could you hear that then? That's a woodpecker. So quiz time, does anyone know what this crop is? Looks like a herb. Move down a little bit, it'll become obvious what it is. Carrots. That one's got frozen. So there's some here where it's been too wet for them to dig them. But you can see them Yeah, see if I can find some that's not too badly frozen. There you go, it's a carrot there. So I don't know whether they'll be able to dig these now because the frost's probably got most of them. Generally what they'll do is they'll push soil up on top of them to protect them from the frost, but this field's obviously been too wet for them to get on and do it. It's not one of my fields. We don't grow carrots. A lot of specialist equipment for growing carrots, but a lot of demand from this time of year, or certainly at Christmas anyway, for everyone to leave out for Rudolph when you're building snowmen, plus your Christmas dinner. There's Adam now, breaking the ice on his way down to spray this field. Get a video of the sprayer folding out. Just about travelling because it's still just a bit frozen on the top. It's obviously got its wide tyres on as well. Pigeons have got up over there again because they've heard the machine. Shame we can't spray it with something that stops them eating it, but people have tried in the past different things but it just doesn't seem to work. I actually mixed some mustard spray once. Got a load of mustard and mixed it with water and sprayed that on to see if it'd stop them eating it on a field, but it didn't really. I'll just watch it fold out. So it comes down the road, it's less than 3 metres wide coming down the road, but then when you get in the field it makes itself 12 times the width. So it's more than 12 times the width. It'll fold out to 36 metres. So that's now folded out to 12. So you've got two 6-metre wings either side. They'll fold down, and then I'll have to keep walking backwards as it folds out because it'll just get wider and wider and it'll fill the screen. So we'll flick a switch in the cab now, and then it'll fold to 24 metres. So you'll get another two 6-metre sections coming out. So it's a little bit like a Swiss Army knife when it's doing this now. So walking backwards, hoping to trip into that puddle. That's like a zoom out, there we go. So that's now 24 metres, and then he's just flipped the switch now for the 36 metres to go out. So there's two tips now at either end as well. So you've got 18 metres either side of the middle of the machine. And then lower the booms to the right height. Turn the radar on, and that'll keep him at the same height as he goes around bends and up and down bumps. And hopefully you should be able to set off and all the nozzles will work and he can spray it. So there's 72 nozzles along the sprayer that'll all come on, and the GPS will control them. So it's hard to see because the ground's similar colour at the moment with the frost on it. So it's just a little bit wet just in the gateway here, but the rest of the field should be fine. There we go. See all the little nozzles. Right. Just stopped there to show you this hedge that Sam's got. Pretty good. Bang on, nice and square, nice and tidy. On the other side as well. Cut them at this time of year, they cut really easy because the wood's quite brittle, especially when it's cold, and also so we don't disturb any birds that are nesting in the spring when we do it. We get a lot of people giving us stick when we're cutting hedges and like waving at us because we're in the way going slow, but what they don't realise, if we didn't cut the hedges you won't fit down the roads, and they don't magically cut themselves or maintain themselves, and you'd all scratch your cars. Clear that pylon, doesn't it? But yeah, looks a lot tidier. He's done a good job. Looks like the tip was just too far for someone. Just throw it on the pavement, nearly in the ditch. Nice one. Let someone else clean up your mess. In oil, and if you look, there's a ram sheared on the back. So we'll have to take it off. I don't think we can weld it up though because of the way the thread's damaged. We'll have to get a new ram for it. It doesn't look like it's easy to change because all these pins will be a pain to get out. The hole where we were messing around trying to find the drain that was blocked. Got a camera on a stick, so we're going to see if we can put it down the drain and find out where the junction is. It's 10 metres long, so hopefully it'll be long enough. It's not stiff enough, so we're taping it to the rods with a wheel on the end. We got the camera down, the hole, we filled it in now, and then 2 metres, and then we could see the joint, so we think the joint's here. So we dug down and we found the drain coming out the weighbridge that's full of all that horrible stuff. So we're going to dig down here now and find out what's going on, but we think it's collapsed here. That was the reason it was blocked. Plastic bottle in the bottom of the grid. So there it is now, coming through. So and we'll fix the pipe that we dug through it. This is what we found when we put the camera down. Just got the muck spreader now near the workshop, so I'm sharpening the teeth on the edge cutter. But that right hand rotor's not spinning. So it was out on hire and it come back because they couldn't use it. So we just parked it up because we were busy, it was harvest. So we're just trying to work it out now. So the shaft's coming down the middle's driving everything, but it's just not returning out the top of the gearbox. So we'll have to take the bar off the top, lift it up and see what's going on at the bottom there. But it's still full of muck, which is a bit of a shame. So it's not a nice job working on the muck spreader. That's about it for today on the computer now. Thanks everyone that's been watching, subscribing, liking, asking questions and different things like that. It's good, it's nice to know that people are actually bothering to watch them and find them interesting. So if you have enjoyed it, press like and subscribe, because then it means that more people see it. Otherwise it just gets lost in the whole internet abyss. I uploaded it last night just onto YouTube and Instagram, and then I put the links on Twitter and Facebook. I don't know whether that works for everyone, but if anyone wants me to put them back on Facebook as a full video, let me know, but it does take a lot longer. But if I can just upload it once to YouTube and once to Instagram, it makes it far easier. And if I get enough people on Instagram, then I can just put the link on YouTube for that as well. But I think you have to have 10,000 followers on Instagram to be able to do that. But I'll see you all tomorrow anyway.